Hello, and welcome back to the Thursday Night Kissaten podcast. Thursday Night Kissaten is a podcast that we talk about Japanese TV shows, movies, books, and other pop cultures. We update weekly every Thursday night around 5 p.m. This podcast is written and hosted by me, Cordelia. How are you doing, my dear listeners? Yesterday was the Full Moon Festival for many East Asian countries, and it was also the night when the full moon shines its brightest and most beautiful light of the year. This occasion is a time for family gatherings in many Chinese households. As we all know that the full moon's lunar energy can, sometimes make people feel a bit uneasy. Or perhaps this unease comes from the hard and long summer. But for those who often keep their emotions hidden, the beginning of the autumn with the full moon is when their true colors start to emerge. I think that's maybe why the Asian Chinese people dedicated this evening to family, creating a safe space where they could express their true feelings. And in many cultures, the moon is just like a god, and the stars are seen as storytellers and sharing the wisdoms they have gathered and learned from above. Today in this episode, we're going to talk about a novel, The Full Moon Coffee Shop. 満月珈琲店の星詠み written by Mai Mochizuki. The Full Moon Coffee Shop was first published in July 2020, and now is a series on the book 5. And the first book is translated into English and published this year on the August 29th. This novel tells a realistic magical story that at the Full Moon Coffee Shop, customers enjoy cakes, coffees, and teas, and well-defined line staff members consult on the customer's astrology birth chart and offer critical wisdom and help them to navigate the points where they are lives and how to move on. Each visitor has been feeling more than a little lost, whether it's a down on her luck screenwriters or a romantically stuck TV show producer, a very hopeful hairstylist, or a technology-challenged IT entrepreneur. But this fun-line guide, who knows just how to set them back on their fit path just by reading their birth chart. And after all, there are a reason that the shops appears to each of them. But here's the trick. This coffee shop is a coffee truck, and the amazing service was provided and run by talking cats. So yeah, cats are owners and they can talk. So in Japan, the cats are symbols of good luck. According to the legend, if you are kind to a cat, one day it will return the favor. And if you happen to be kind to the red cat, you might just find yourself invited to this mystery coffee shop under the beautiful moonlight in Kyoto. And this particular coffee shop is unlike any others. It has no fixed location, no fixed hours, and appears at random to people who are at their crossroad in their lives. But there's one thing is sure was this coffee shop is only opens and appears on a full moon night. So maybe this coffee shop was appearing yesterday somewhere that we don't know. Before we dive into more about the novels or the topics, let's talk a little bit about the writer behind this cute story. The writer name is Mai Mochizuki. She was born in Hokkaido and currently lives in Kyoto. And she made her literary debut in the 2013. And here's a fun fact that I found, that the writer's surname, Mochizuki, it actually means looking at the moon. It is as she was, destined to write such a story related to the moonlight. And just like, it really reminds me of the Murasaki Shikibu, the famed author of the tale of Kenji Monogatari. The most image of the Mochizuki that in my head was she's crafting her magical narrative stories under the beautiful moonlight, just like what Murasaki did, and also in Kyoto. In the novel, one of the cat, after reading the birth chart for the TV show producer, and he says, "The stars cannot decide your future, but they can offer guidance to help you make decisions that align with your true desires. You know what you want." Astrology can be very a helpful tool, I have to say. It is, essential to remember that it is meant to be support, not to decide our choices. For example, you might be told by your birth chart that you have a natural talent towards acting or working in the film industry, for example. But if you never take the steps to pursue the path, let's say you never attend any audition, you never go to an acting workshop, you never study the craft, or immerse yourself into the industry, then you will never realize that potential, isn't it? It is not the stars or the astrology that determined our success. It's ourselves. The choices we make, the risk we take, and the actions we commit to are what truly shape our destiny. In the story, the full moon coffee shop, the coffee truck, is magically that suddenly appears when people are at a crossroad in their life. Instead, the cats guide people through the universe and teaching them the order of their planets, their stars, their signs, and the phases of the moon, and how this thing's going to influence the different stages of lives. They don't offer easy answers, but rather to inspire the help that you can see, and you help yourself to challenge and from a new perspective. They remind the customers that while the stars maybe has some certain possibilities, but it's all up to the customer themselves to take the step necessary to turn those possibilities into reality. Sometimes customers, they forgot they have the true power. It's like ourselves. We forgot that we're actually the owner of our own destiny. I finished the first 2 books in the series, and the full moon coffee shop seems that always appears, on the full moon night, offering solid solutions for people to find themselves who are lost or troubled. But there's one thing that they keep saying that in the story is, the astrology is not a fortune-telling devices, but as a tool to help with self-learning. The key message that they pass on in the stories is that if someone can understand themselves better, and they can find the strength to move forward. And this is what stuck with me, is how seamlessly this disconnected stories, but somehow connected all together and creating a larger narrative that was both comforting and profound. By the end, reading these 2 books so far, I was touched a lot, and not just by the story themselves, but also by the ideas that astrology can guide us. And reading astrology has no problem. That's a part powerful tool, and is ourselves. We own our own actions or decisions to move ourselves forward in the path. I definitely think that the writer spent a lot of time on studying the astrology and pass on a very good perspective to people and the readers and the audience what is the best way to receive those astrologers' readings. But for more importantly is that the stars reinforce the critical lessons that here the stars may light the way, but it's up to us to walk the path, which is a little bit different from all the other stories that have been read about astrology. This have been very honest and sincere about how to use it and what we can take away from it at the same time. Another cute thing about this novel or the theory is that in life, as also in the stories, everything's connected. Every single character somehow is related. And because this was storytelling, it's often in a ways that we don't immediately understand. The characters in the books that I'm reading have no expectations. Each one is incredibly linked into others, and their lives somehow weaving together. And to be revealed in a full patterns over time. It's like the moon phase, It's not the full moon one night and the full moon continuing. It's going through a phase, the different moon phase. So as the narrative unfolds, it becomes clear that nothing happens by chance. Ooh, exciting, isn't it? So every event, every encounter has a purpose. And even if the purpose isn't immediately appeared, it will appear in the end of the book, end of the chapter, or the next book. So, kind of like seduce you to read more. I'm on book 2, soon go to the book 3. But I like the idea the writer is trying to pass is that the life is a circle. It's resonant deeply in a lot of readers that I checked online. It reminds me that we might not always grasp the reasons behind a certain events as they happened, but there is often a greater design at work. Sometimes it takes times, like days, months, even years, before the reason for something to become clear. That all we need to do is being patient, shift our perspective to learn about ourselves, maybe ask for help, maybe to go to an astrologer to ask for the birth chart. But as in all those moments of uncertainty, there's another meaningful message here is there is no certainty, there's only uncertainties, that all we can do is keep moving forward and hold on the trust that one day the connection will be revealed themselves. Or if we want to enforce the speed, then we go learn about ourselves and to help us to move the path a little bit quicker. But in the book, the characters find themselves facing different situations, and that seems random or even very hard and harsh. But somehow, all the things that they have experienced come to a circle, come together, and the struggle that they have is maybe written in their feet. But the thing is not to listen to the feet to decide what they want to be, but is to find the support, how to change the narrative. For example, there's in the story in the book 1 that, a girl, she happened to date a guy who was already married, but she didn't know. And it actually appears in her chart. It seems to be a curse in her chart, and she definitely has some self-hate and self-doubt at the moment when all those things that happened. But this kind of situation, when it was explained by one of the cat who's an astrologer, said that you can look at it in a way that how to overcome it. How actually this one also brings the lack of work, and you can use the luck as your professional development, but not your personal romantic partnership line. how it can help you, but also can destroy you at the same time. But it's really depends on you how you want to use it. Then you have to ask yourself, what is the most important for you? Is your romantic life or is your professional life? And also bring you to the perspective to that characters, that the people that she met, the choice that she makes, and the path that she crosses, all the moment as a part of a larger and a more circular journey. But do not regret. I like how the message is passed to people that we need to think more for ourselves. What we're doing is really pleasing ourselves or pleasing others and the choice that we make. And here's also the thing that they said in the book, that we may not understand the significance of each steps at the time, but eventually everything comes full circle. All we need to do is being patient, and when we're actually making the choice to think ourselves first and our needs and desire. It seems it can be a very cliche thing that people keep repeating, but think about that. A lot of time that when we're in the society, at work, with the family, with people we love or people we hate, people our friends, a lot of times that we don't make decisions for ourselves. Let's think about it. It's good to be reminded again that we have our own control for our own destiny, that we don't have to always be controlled by others, but really truly to serve to ourselves. Self-love, again, is not equal to the narcissism. If we are actually not taking advantage out of people, we are actually only take the advantage for ourselves. What I'm trying to say here is we put ourselves first, draw the clear boundary, and we own the respect. Again, this is also comes to a full circle. How we treat ourselves is also how we're going to manifest is to treat other people. How other people treat themselves is going to project on us, isn't it? The good ideas, the good perspective here about everything comes in the full circle, just like the moon itself. Thank you again for listening to this episode, as this book is being already translated into English, and the book can be found on Amazon and anywhere that you buy your books. Why not give a try? This episode was written by me, Cordelia, and I will speak to you soon in our next episode.